Hello, hello. This is Carrie with CoachCarrieSpeaks.com, and today we're going to talk about key skills to grow your online business. Okay, so let's just get right into this right now, and yeah, we'll get going here. Okay, so here are the things that we're going to cover in this training: how to create better results. Okay, 5 key skills to grow a business online, and 3 dangerous beliefs that abruptly halt growth. And that's growth on your business, growth in life, everything. Okay, so who am I? My name's Carrie Spears. I'm a wife, mother, grandmother, and entrepreneur. Okay, I have 30 years background in the legal field. That's where I got most of my training. Love the legal field, but decided, I have been a part of direct sales for over many years. And now my goal, I knew the direct sale models work. I knew it's excellent. And I was able to come into a great direct sales business that has a great compensation plan. And now I am building that on social media. And so while I'm learning things, I'm training on the things that I have learned as well. So I have 2 years of social media education training. I've coached many people in social media, which in turn has gotten them great results with what they're doing. And my ultimate goal is to help others become their own boss. That's what my ultimate goal is. So why get this training now? Okay, now is the best time ever to start learning how to properly use social media to grow your business, because with social media there are no more cold calls, house meetings, hotel meetings, whatever. You don't have to pack up your product, drag it across town anywhere. Okay, your contact with prospects can be endless. There's over 2 billion people on Facebook, so your contact is endless. Okay, there are more people than ever using social media, and you know what? Social media is not going away. So audience growth, let's talk about that skill number one, because if we don't have an audience to speak to, then we can't really do our business, right? So audience growth, this includes networking and prospecting, creating engaging content, and even running paid ads. So, what do I mean by prospecting, networking? When I'm talking specifically in this training about Facebook, but it can basically be used on other social media platform. I know a lot of people like to use Instagram, some people use Twitter, and I even have a training on Snapchat, believe it or not. So okay, networking and prospecting, you must do that. You have to do that to grow your audience on Facebook. So let's say you started Facebook, you start a business, your personal page is up, and you have about 250 friends, right? You think you're really doing something. Well, when I first started doing social media business on that, getting trained on that, I asked my mentor, okay, how many people would you suggest that I have? And he said to get any kind of response, at least rock bottom minimum 2,500 people. And I'm like, oh my gosh. When I first started, I had 350. So at least 2,500 people. So how do you do that? How do you get these people? Okay, here's a tip. When I first started off, you don't just want to start friending everybody, because in essence that will be nobody. You need to pick a target audience. So when I first started off, I went to one of my friends, several of them that were really active in the community, that had large friend following, and I went to their friends list, believe it or not, and I started friending people that I knew because we're in the same community. Oh, I know him. Oh, I know her. But we never were friends. And the people that I did pick were people I believe would fit into my audience, into my prospect would want what I was offering. Okay. So that's the key on how you can start building your friends list. Okay. Start, and that's kind of like your warm market a little bit because they know they've seen you around. And so we'll go into other ways later. Okay. Creating engaging content. So you have to pick who you want to prospect. Okay. And on your Facebook page, you have to leave content. Okay. Engaging content. Maybe ask a question. A lot of times people will say, they'll ask a random question, right? Like, I find myself correcting myself when I say this because I know it's not proper. What do you correct yourself in doing? Something like that, something that's going to get engagement, because I'm going to tell you now, the Facebook algorithm, if it is saying that you are not engaging with people, you're not going to get responses to your post. I'm telling you, it doesn't even matter if you have 5,000 friends, really. If they have to see that you are engaging with people on Facebook, and then they will start driving traffic to you. Okay. And so I have this training on where to get content, how to present it, to put it on your Facebook page. And I won't go into that right here, but the next thing is paid ads. If you know how to properly create an ad in Facebook, and you can set it to, like, you want to, pay $5 a day to reach people, just to get people to your business page. That's what, $35 for the week. That's fine, right? But the key is properly placing that Facebook ads. I have a whole nother training on that, on how to place ads successfully, where you will get your clicks, you will get your engagement. Okay. So that's number one. So we talked about who's your target audience. You have to know who you want to speak to. Now, a lot of times I've seen this happen. People start, but they don't know exactly who their target audience is, and that's okay. Just as long as you have a general idea, and as you go along, you will begin to narrow that down. Okay. So think about your prospect. Okay. Let's say you're in travel. Okay. So where would travelers hang out at? Well, they'd hang out Facebook pages that has to do with traveling, maybe a certain age in traveling, find a blog, right? Find a blogger, or that you can join and see who's leaving comments on those blogs. Okay. So go where your target audience is hanging out. Okay. And engage with them. Oh my gosh. I've gone to, I have several women entrepreneurial groups, and I go on there and I start reading comments, right? And if the question is something I know and no one has replied to this comment, I will go on and reply and say, hey, I think what you're asking is this, and if you do it that way, you'll get the results you're looking for. People appreciate that, right? And so then that person will probably come to my page and see what I'm about and friend request me. That's fine, right? So that goes under helping them with their pain points. Okay, so you can go in other groups, read the comments. You can hear pain in people's voices and people's comments, and help them with their pain points. You could make posts in your on your Facebook page on some pain point of your audience. Let's say you're in health and wellness. Okay, hey, and you can do a post about the best way to get fiber in your food without noticing. Okay, that's probably a pain point for people, right? So, help people in their pain points. And the final thing is, where will you build your audience? You need to figure out if you want to build your audience on your Facebook profile, on your business page, in groups, etc. Okay, so my thing is, I've learned from experience that it is hard to get people to your business page, right? So I'm all about building up your individual Facebook page and then eventually inviting them to your business page. So let's say you have your own personal Facebook page, right? And then you go and make a business page. I highly recommend that you have a business page. You don't necessarily need to drive traffic to it. If you want to, you can. I'm all about building up my personal page, and then at a certain point inviting them all over to my business page. But with your business page, that's the only page that you can have that you can actually create ads, okay, and place ads, Facebook ads. So you do need a business page for that. And a lot of times I say, people, if you're going to post anything on Facebook, it's good to just post in your business page first and then share it to your personal page. Okay. And that's just for like articles and just stuff that has to do with your business, right? All the other things, your personal things, I went out to dinner with the girlfriends. We had a great time. All that personal page, but make it public. Okay, you guys, I have a long training on how to prepare your Facebook page for business. And I'm not going to go into that there, but I do have a huge training on that. Okay, number 2, creating engaging content. This content, your content needs to be engaging, which means that your audience will find it valuable, okay? If you are posting things on your page and you're not getting any kind of response, or the same people respond, the same 3 people respond, like or post, okay, there's a problem here. One or two things. Your content is not engaging, or your audience is not your prospects. They could care less about what you're saying. So you need to evaluate one or two. The content isn't any good, or your audience is not targeted, is not a prospect audience. And so a lot of times, if it's the audience is the problem, how can you tell? Okay, take the post that you posted in your page and post it in a group and see if it gets any traction. If it does, that means you have an audience problem. Okay. The content does not have to be an original. What do I mean by that? You can read an article and say, hey, I read this article on how entrepreneurs get started and how they bomb. Okay. And then but it gives 5 steps on how to guarantee you do not bomb, something like that. And then you put that's great content, but you refer to the article that you read, right? And that's perfectly okay to do that. Okay. So you have to determine what kind of engagement you're looking to get. Do you want people just to like your post, or do you want people to actually start commenting on your post? Ideally, that is what you want. You want people, because you want activity on your page so that Facebook will send more people to it. Okay, number 2, creating engaging content. You can do this on your post, on blog posts, through emails, do a Facebook Live, videos, webinars, and all these other things. Okay, let's speak on Facebook Live. Oh my gosh, Facebook Live is it. Okay. And I hear a lot of people saying that they're just nervous about doing it, and they are, scared and all that. And you know what? To get started, it is nerve-wracking because it's an unfamiliar thing. And I don't know. It's something that you have to learn to do. I mean, when I first started doing it, oh my gosh, it was just like, oh, I would go back and forth with myself, and it would take forever. And you just have to get out and do that. So it's called repetition, right? And then you'll begin to get comfortable. So I have a whole nother training on doing Facebook Lives and how to get started on that I can cover at a later time. But here it says choose 3 favorite types of content to create regularly. My thing, it says 3 types, but if you're really starting off, I would concentrate on maybe just 2. Okay. And the first one, I would say build your Facebook audience. Okay. So that's that. So communication, your ability to communicate one to many and one-on-one. That's very, very important. Okay. So you can communicate through speaking, conversation, video, webinars, whatever, right? But you have to master that and make sure it's great content. That's communication, right? So that is very important. Number 4, conversion, your ability to convert your leads and prospects into buyers. Okay, let me touch a little bit on this. Okay, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Okay, the problem that you get is when you immediately start selling your item and people don't even know you, let alone like and trust you. Okay. So you have to build that know, like, trust factor with your audience. And once you build that, you can convert all day long. But my one of my coaches, she says, it took her 8 years to become an overnight success, right? She was on social media for years. And then finally, that momentum, she created that momentum and it just started going. But I'm telling you guys, the people that are, doing something on social media, this is not new to them. They've been at it for a while. And you have to give your time for that, to build that. But once your audience knows you, they like what they see when you post, and what you're posting is authentic, they will trust you. Now, people do not like to be sold on things, okay? So you cannot sound salesy, or do not spam your product everywhere. Okay, just don't do it. And I have a training on that. But real quick about the conversions, a lot of people get scared to ask for the sale. You have to ask for that sale, or else it's just never going to happen. Okay. So it's not, if you've provided valuable content, it is okay to ask for the sale. You must ask for the sale. Okay. And number 5, tenacity, your ability to remain consistent and persistent no matter what. Okay. So just show up every day. It doesn't matter if it's in a post, if it's in a Facebook Live, just show up. And so that your prospects will be used to seeing you. Okay. So at the beginning, I talked about the 3 dangerous beliefs that will stop you dead in your tracks. Okay. Because this first part was talking about, building up your social media. But you know what? If you don't deal with your belief systems, you can build up your page and your following and your audience all you want. If you have any one of these 3 belief systems in place, you probably will not go anywhere. And you have to acknowledge it. Okay. So number 1, I know this already. Okay. I don't care. You know what? You cannot have that belief, because then if I know this already, you're not willing to learn anything. Okay. So I'm reading a book. I have it on Audible, right? I've listened to that book 5 times, and every time that I listen to it, I get a world of knowledge, extra knowledge. So don't have that attitude, okay? And so belief number 2, I have to work harder. That is not the truth. Once you learn the techniques and how to do things, you can pretty much put your business on autopilot. And that will eventually be your goal, okay? To put everything on autopilot so that you don't have to work harder, okay? So the last belief, I can't afford help. I'm telling you, you can afford help. There's help. Okay, granted, you know, my coach, she charges $2,000 a session, and I'm like, okay, one day I'm going to be charging that, okay? And so, but you don't have to do that much, okay? There are people out there that are charging well under $50, under $100, that if you were to you know, hire them, you will get probably $500, $1,000, $2,000 worth of information if they are good help. Okay. So we have to get rid of those 3 belief systems. Okay. So I have a question for you. Do you feel you have gotten value out of this training? Um, will you be able to take what you've learned and immediately apply it to your situation and start generating leads? And what leads are basically people responding to you. Okay, that's what a lead is. Someone who has responded to you. So do you do you feel comfortable going to a Facebook page and interacting with people, and then your conversation turns in, hey, what do you do? Really, I was just looking for something like that. You never know, right? So are you thinking you have the capacity and tenacity to learn even more? Are you ready to learn more about social media and how to just be the it factor in the game? Well, the week of May 14th through the 18th, I will start my 5-day boot camp. Okay. And it's going to only be for those who are ready to take massive action. What do I mean? By everything I teach you, you just put it into practice, just put it into play, right? So there are limited seats available, as I want to work as close as possible with each attendee. Okay. There will be how to instructions on how to write engaging content, how to connect with prospects, how to promote your product, and how to become so attractive that people will be asking you for help. Okay. You will be added to a closed Facebook group where you can just, post your questions and get them answered. And just like-minded people will be in that group, and everyone can help everyone out. Okay. So my 5-day boot camp is $47. That's for the whole 5 days. That's for all the assignments. That's for me looking at your stuff, giving my opinion. That's going to be for everything. $47. I want it affordable to everyone. Okay. So you're going to get handouts that will keep that you can keep and use over and over. You will get an opportunity to ask questions after we implement the assignment. We're going to discuss it. How did it turn out? What was the response? What could you have done differently, right? Because when you leave this boot camp, I want you to leave where you're ready, set, fire, right? Okay. And if this is for you, you could just leave a comment, okay? Or contact me at C Spears 1987 at gmail.com. That's C for Carrie, C Spears 1987 at gmail.com. Email me that, and I'll get you the information, okay, to join that Facebook group. So thank you so much for listening to the training, and I really hope that you got great value, because that is my purpose. Thank you so much.